going on? What is going on with that music? Oh my. Welcome to Outlaw Radio. Hi, everybody. And now we're done. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Outlaw Radio. I, of course, am your beleaguered, hair is all messy and thinning Outlaw Night. Welcome back to a live episode of Outlaw Radio. I, of course, am the Outlaw Night. Thank you all for being here today on sort of a short notice, but it is my regular Wednesday, so I'm hoping you all don't mind me being here live on the YouTubes, also co-streaming here on the TikToks over there. So thank you, everybody who's here and hanging out. Appreciate you all being here. If this is your first time here and you're wondering why the heck I'm hanging out with this gray-haired kind of weirdo, again, I'm the Outlaw Night. I've been a professional wrestler based out of Central Canada since 1995. I have had the chance and the privilege to wrestle with just about everybody you know and who's a favorite of yours or not a favorite of yours the last 30 years. Again, based out of Central Canada, I've been across most of the country, through the Midwest, had a couple of cups of coffee in Japan, and had a chance to work backstage for both WWE, AEW, and some more. So that's why you're here if you're a wrestling fan. Other than that, if you're also into creative side, and other than that, I am also an author. I'm a self-published author. I've got my own books available here, and I'll show you a little bit more about those in this moment right here as I figure out the technology after doing this the first time in a long time. There we are. Hi. These are my books. If you happen to enjoy the books of Jim Butcher or Tanya Huff or anything like that, I do write urban fantasy fiction, and I hope you enjoy the idea of it. If you can take a look at the QR code just above me right there, you can go to my link tree, and that'll get you not just to where links to my books are, but also to where you can find my merchandise, either in Great White North Productions or more commonly over at ProWrestlingTees.com. Again, as I said before, I am a professional wrestler. I've been very, very busy the last 30 or so years doing the inside of the ring stuff. The month of June is very busy for us locally here. The group that I work with, Blaze Pro Wrestling, put on, I do believe, 10 days worth of events for every day of the Red River exhibition, which was crazy. And I was very proud of everyone that was involved, especially those who iron personed it through all 10 days of those events. I'm looking at you, Candy, and I'm looking at you, Tony, and Corey Diamond, and Billy, actually everyone who had to be there, which is awesome. So be that as may, a couple events coming up for the rest of the summer. It's a long summer coming up. There'll be many, many events with many, many different companies and groups. I myself personally, August the 2nd, know for sure I'm going to be doing an event out in Grand Marais, Manitoba. Not with my home office, but that's okay. I'll still be the best goddamn heavyweight champion in all of Canada. I'll be representing Blaze Pro Wrestling proudly at that event in Grand Marais, August 2nd. Also, a couple of events during the Winnipeg Fringe Festival. You might be able to see me kicking around there. Might be getting involved in a couple of cameos here and there. So keep your eye out for that if you're a theater fan here in town. But most importantly, I have to represent Blaze Pro Wrestling, the home office here in Winnipeg. We're still standing to the 2nd anniversary of Blaze Pro Wrestling. We are moving venues to a bigger spot. We're going to be at the Fort Garry Curling Club right on Archibald 696 Archibald. Please come on down to that event. Tickets are available online right now at www.blazeprowrestling.com. We have sold out our last year and a half's worth of events. This will be no different, but we do have more seats available than we have before. Early access, there will be a band. The band Omens will be playing at 6 o'clock for the pre-show. We will be starting our event at 7 o'clock sharp-ish. And of course, the main event will be me. Apparently at the last event, and I will be talking a little bit more about this in days to come, at the last event they were to determine who the number one contender was going to be. Was it going to be the young man that I defeated quite soundly at last year's anniversary show, TJ Cannon, or was it going to be the previous champion, the zombie killer Mentolo? Either of whom are worthy challengers. But apparently, some shenanigans and some BS, their main event match got messed up. Corey Diamond, the Saginaw Warrior, decided to get himself involved. Corey Diamond's been on a heck of a tear. He's a tremendous athlete and a tremendous wrestler. He wanted to get involved in the match, and so for some reason, instead of it being a one-on-one, the best goddamn heavyweight champion in Canada will be taking on the zombie killer Mentolo, the loose cannon TJ Cannon, and of course the Saginaw Warrior Corey Diamond in a fatal four-way match in the main event of We're Still Standing 2. Boy, they really want to put one over on the old man, I tell you. But that's okay. That's why I'm the best. That's why I'm the best. So, upcoming events are done. I've plugged my books. I've plugged the merchandise. You all know who I am at this point in time. So what I wanted to talk about today was, of course, the power of sport. What it does for people, what it does for me, and what it does for everyone else around the world. And I didn't mean this as a cheap plug, but of course, since they're a big sponsor, I will be having my Coca-Cola Zero with the FIFA World Cup logos on it right now. Oh yeah, there's some ASMR for you. How about that? How about that? So, thank you for the likes over there, Billy. I see you. Let's talk about the power of sport. I can speak to this from a professional wrestling standpoint. And before all of you go, professional wrestling, sports entertainment. Yeah. When you get a crowd of people together that are invested in what they're engaging with, preferably sports. Also can be movies, can be theater, can be any sort of, live presentation, music, culture, whatever. But specifically sport, where you can see people competing and sweating and striving and putting their bodies and hearts and minds on the line with a singular purpose of achieving a goal. Man, more so than any other type of public event, I do really believe that is the most relatable thing for any people to get behind. We see it all the time in pro wrestling. We do it all the time in pro wrestling by trying to find ways to relate as performers to those in the audience. Sometimes we do that with stories or angles or gimmicks or whatever, but we do it by trying to be relatable. We do it by trying to show a reality of ourselves with our efforts and our blood and our sweat and our tears, and find a correlation with you in your lives on how we do that. What's great is that this happens with all sports, happens with all events. And it's been really, really great watching this as the World Cup has progressed here in North America for the last 2 or 3 weeks, whatever it's going to be. I know it wraps up, I think, on the 19th. Be that as it may, it's been interesting to watch. Now, I will put on my glasses here. They're not my Chuck Schumer's, Ken, sorry, but they are my glasses. I will put them on just to say some smarter things, I hope, and I want to say this. I'm not a soccer guy. I'm not a football type of fan. Never have been. I've appreciated it. I appreciate the athleticism and the pure cardio fascination these men and women have. And of course, over the last number of years at the Olympics, I have gotten well behind the ladies and the women's Canadian national team who have won gold medal after gold medal. I have nothing but respect for those athletes. I have nothing but respect for the role models they've been for young women all across this country and the world. I have so much respect for that. But as a game itself, I've never really been able to get into it. This year's different. It does have the bias of being here in North America. And I won't just say the United States because they blew the opportunity to have it strictly there, with the games also being in Canada and Mexico and across the States. It's been great to be able to watch these games while they're happening. See, I was not as a hardcore guy, and I might have, some skin in the game with some of my heritage being Scottish and Irish and whatever. I've never been the type of guy like, oh, there's a game happening. It's 3 a.m. I'm going to go watch this game. No, not for me. I'm not that invested. So being able to watch it live makes all the difference in the entire world. Being able to watch it live, to see the games that I've seen so many close finishes. I've actually seen goals in a sport that's ridiculed for having so many 0-0, 0-0 games for 90 plus minutes. I've seen so many frantic plays, desperation, heart, soul, and more. It has been something else. This World Cup has opened my eyes to a bunch of different things, but it has solidified again in me what the power of sport is and what it does for these people. Yes, you've heard the stories of hooliganism and rowdies and people from different cultures getting together. And certainly there was a lot of shenanigans talking about, people coming into the United States and North America and what the political ramifications of that are going to be, given, certain Tangerine Palpatines who might or may not be an idiot down there that are causing a lot of immigration issues right now. and wars and bullshit. But putting that aside and just getting to the sport aspect of it, it has been lovely to see thousands and thousands of people from all over the world coming into North America, coming into Canada, coming to Mexico, representing their countries, representing their people, representing their culture, and coming together for one singular focus: to witness these athletes giving their all for the love of their game, their country, and the sport. Now, obviously, of course, there's been some shenanigans, and we can talk about those right now. What I definitely don't like about this sport, more so than any other, of course, are I do not understand this arbitrary timekeeping system. I don't understand how I can't figure out what is not a penalty. Certainly knows as I watched the Argentina and Egypt game last night. Not to be a dick, but it sure as hell looked like, those refs were all over Egypt for no fucking good reason after a while there. Just because Lionel Messi was on Argentina. Maybe I'm being crazy in this one, but that's just a casual white-haired white boy observer looking at this from a distance. So I don't love that. I certainly don't like all the diving. Things get violent, people get hurt, lots of energy and lots of activities happen. Shit happens. I'm fine with that. But so many, I've seen more diving in this World Cup than I'll see in a standard NBA basketball game these days. That's right, LeBron, I said it. Diving. I've been hurt. I've been killed. Here's what I do like. I love seeing these packed arenas. And yes, corporate donors, corporate sponsors, thousands and thousands of dollars to these people to fly here and get those tickets and those opportunities. But when you get these people coming together, you get to feel that energy of the crowd coming through the screen of the audio. You can see the camaraderie. You can see just how invested in they are in what's going on. You can see how their energy affects the players in the field and how that invigorates them to strive harder, to give more. The power of sport is an amazing thing. It is an ongoing energy transfer of desire, of life, of, my goodness, I don't even know what else it is. Of inspiration. Life, energy, and inspiration. That transfer of life, energy, inspiration, and more. And that is what I find so powerful about sport. So powerful about entertainment. So powerful about this World Cup. Here's hoping when we get to the end of this tournament, we'll have fewer political, influential shenanigans. FIFA's a corrupt organization. We all know that. Thank you, John Oliver, for pointing that out years ago, and it's still being something millions of people around the world enjoy. But it is so encouraging seeing all these people from all over the world come together to support, to represent, and to share in this experience with their friends, their neighbors, and more. Sport brings the world together. We can be on different sides. We can have our differences. We can have our favorite players. We can have our favorite moments. We can have our favorite countries. But when all those people are together in that one arena, watching the same event, at the end of that day, we're all together for the same purpose: to enjoy the athleticism before us and to respect ourselves and more. And at the risk of being a broken record, the ability for anything to be out there, to bring people together, to show everyone our similarities and to minimize our differences, that is the most important thing in the world today, tomorrow, and forever. And that's all I've got for today. Just a short and a quick one. I wanted to get that off my chest and to keep the streak of doing these live going after 2 weeks of pre-recording. I am home. I should be home for a bit. I'm not planning on doing a lot of traveling. This might be the last time you see this setup, though. I am in the process of getting a new workstation, new work desk, and when I do that, I'm going to turn this whole sumbitch around, and I'm going to dig out the new microphone I've been sitting on for a couple of months now. I know, Billy, you gave me a microphone a while ago. I'm sorry. So I'm still using this bad boy right here. And it's not perfect, but then again, neither am I. And I kind of like the gritty sound of it. But I'm going to hope to change the look of this up and change the scenario. But I'm more the same stuff. I'm hoping to have some more guests on this live stream in a bit. I'm talking to Ken right now, maybe coming on. If Alden wants to come back on, I'd love to talk more. Lots of events, a lot of things coming on up in the near future. And I'm hoping to make this less of a monologue and more of an ongoing conversation about different topics. So if you're here now or if you're here later and you have things you want to see me talk about or you want to talk about with me, hit me a comment down below. Help drive the engagement. Please like and subscribe and all that other stuff. Of course, before I forget again, please check out the QR code up over my left-hand shoulder right there. If you're interested in seeing about my books or my merchandise, please do check that stuff out again as well. And let's all be kind to each other, okay? It has been a glorious time for, seeing the world come together and enjoy all these games and all these crazy late goals and these heartbreaks, but it's even better when we're together and enjoying it. And on that note, one final time, get your tickets to We're Still Standing to www.blazeprowrestling.com. We want to sell that sumbitch out one more time. The best damn heavyweight in all of Canada will be defending his title in the Fatal 4 in the main event, August 28th. All right. I'm done with my cheap plugs. Thank you, everybody. Check this out. Lots of love to you all, and let's do this again next week. Bye-bye.